Bar Sinister, Marvel Snap's newest location, and with it comes a cacophony of possibilities. So far, nobody knows what the most powerful combination of cards in Bar Sinister is. It's a complete mystery. But I say nay. I awoke from my slumber early afternoon on Tuesday morning, saw Bar Sinister as the featured location. Oh my god, it's Bar Sinister. And leapt for joy as I had been awaiting this moment. This was my moment, my opportunity to crack the meta before anyone had a chance. So I began my quest. I started with the most boring and obvious card to play in Bar Sinister, the Green Goblin. Like the Hobgoblin, he flies to the opponent's side of the board and debuffs the enemy team. The advantage that the Green Goblin has over the Hobgoblin, however, is that he can do it on turn 3, likely before my opponent has even had a chance to play anything on Bar Sinister. Yeah, this is pretty busted, the end. Or at least, this would be the end. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that most of you watching don't actually have Green Goblin just yet, and let's face it, you guys aren't going to want to watch the video if the conclusion I draw is to play a card that you don't have. So for the sake of the YouTube views and likes, the show must go on. So I worked on concocting my own evil plan to win the game with Bar Sinister in a way that other players would not be prepared for. And for a time, it worked. One of the most basic easy cards to get in the game, Yondu, was my first staple. How can my opponent beat me at this card game if they do not have any cards to play? Yondu isn't that strong when destroying one card, but destroying 4 at once? Surely. There's no way my opponent could counter that. You see, a Marvel Snap player starts a game with 12 cards in their deck. They draw 3 cards at the beginning and then 1 card on turn 1 and an additional card every turn up to turn 6. That means by the end of the game, they've been through 9 of their 12 cards. But by destroying 4 cards from my opponent's deck, I'm effectively removing one of the cards that they would have drawn from the game. But that was not enough. I want to remove more of my opponent's cards, and my insatiable greed had not yet been satiated. What if, instead of destroying my opponent's cards, I steal them? Cable was the next big strategy, and he allowed me to play more of my opponent's cards than they were playing. Another huge success, as taking my opponent's toys away from them seems to be the order of the day. After all, why should they get to have fun? Iceman was the next evolution of this plan. Make my opponent's hand too expensive to be able to play anything. Ooh, Blue Marvel seems pretty strong. Whoa, hang on, wait just 1 second. I gotta play this one out. Hey, f you, Odin. Then, that fateful game changed everything for me. I'd stolen most of my opponent's deck with Cable when he hit me with the most powerful Carnage combo I've ever seen. They ate themselves again and again, getting bigger and bigger until I knew I just couldn't compete anymore. I have to try this. After a few botched attempts at pulling off the same combo and a very rude interruption from Ego, which I won, by the way. Idiot. I had the perfect setup. My Carnage was insanely powerful, and I was about to play a Venom who was going to be out of this world. And then... My cards! Hey, that's not fair. This gave me a great, completely unique idea. Use Bar Sinister to discard my opponent's hand. I had this set up nicely with Moon Knight, but as soon as I put him on the board, my opponent retreated. Then I remembered that Moon Knight is also a pull 3 card, and you guys won't care about that strategy at all, so back to Plan A. In fact, Plan A had a new development. See, I realized that I could play Yondu and then Killmonger to destroy the Yondus, and then play Iceman to make my opponent's hand practically unplayable. Then I had the perfect setup. with only 1 card in my opponent's deck, which I'd take with Cable, and only 3 expensive cards in their hand, there's no way they could win. Victory was within my grasp. Yeah, okay, just play Spectrum, the end. What the f*** is that?